The following show is not intended for children under the age of 17. There will be foul language and adult content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Numbers in my stock is going up 'cause of my hunger. When you see me in my zone, I'm locked in, not clocked in. I'm never boxed in. When you see me in my when I'm in my zone, I feel like I'm alone. I feel like I'm unknown to the world that's full of clones. My originality's focused on principalities broken. I'm loaning my heart and soul to the game that's scared to pay it back. And failure is a motherfucker. The strength to go on and believing in another sucker who don't see the vision in you. So you gotta work harder times two. Gotta make it do what it do with the limited sources you have. Your dream is still a fine motivation in you and inspire the world to do what you can. If you love it, then fuck it, get through it. Yeah. Mumble mentality activated. I waited for so long. Get burdens out, I'll wait. When you see me in my
All right. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing this evening?
I'm A1. I'm A1. Can't lie.
Yeah, same. I'm
Talking
here.
I know Outlaw's here, but his audio is still doing funny things. So excuse us on our little late start today. We're trying to get some audio stuff lined out. At some point it'll manifest and work itself out, but it's okay. In the meantime, well, I hear some noise.
Hopefully my mic is working now.
Hell yeah! That boy
Oh,
saying,
shit.
I'm in that thing.
It'd be glitchy though, but yeah.
Is it
don't
working
matter.
now finally?
Yes.
No,
We can hear you.
his video is a little glitchy, not his mic though. We okay with that?
You know you know what it was? Because before we started the show, he
I'm
had
not
do-rag.
okay with that. I want the whole package. No homo.
It's that black do-rag energy. That's what it was.
Hey,
Now that the do-rag is on, everything start working. You know, motherfuckers fear the do-rag. It was just, But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite Wednesday pastime. This is, some people call it Hump Day. We just call it Gentlemen's Talk Wednesday around this thing. But as per motherfucking usual, I am your host. I am the one that they call Mr. GQ, and it's very simple. If intellect offends you, seek a better education.
I am your boy DJ Micah B, and you see the headline, his story. We'll touch on that later.
what's going on? It's Mr. Gent, and put your motherfucking name on it.
There's some serious levels of pettiness going on tonight. I like this already. That means this is a solid start to the show. At some point, Outlaw will come in and tell us what he got going on, but he's getting himself together. We're gonna be all right, okay?
By the way, before we move on, Outlaw is the main character.
100% the main character. Tonight's a special show. We got a lot going on today. We have a massive docket today. We have a lot of things to jump into. Obviously, if you saw the YouTube thumbnail, it's literally the unsung heroes of Black history. Yes, we will tap into that. We will tell you guys about pretty much how we came up with this concept. It was very simple. We were talking about things and we were like, we got to do at least one Black History show for Black History Month. And, we were like, let's talk about those who don't get their flowers, who deserve their flowers. And we're going to give some of those individuals their flowers tonight based on accomplishments of some things that you may not have known. And that's the beautiful thing about why we get to do a show like this, is we get to bring you knowledge on things that you might not have thought about on February 25th, 2026. But guess what? You're going to learn today. All right. On top of that, we have ourselves a loaded show when it comes to the breakingness of all news. Is we have got a upcoming boxing match that will be happening in September, and it is going to be Mayweather versus Pacquao 2. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to have a conversation asking a very simple question. Are millennials the worst dressed generation? Obviously, we know the answer to that, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're going to talk about the comeback of the OG music artists, T.I., Juvenile, Bow Wow, B2K, Trick Daddy, Ludacris. Why that's relevant, you'll find out. And outside of that, today, officially, May 8th, 2026 is the release date of Mortal Kombat 2. That was just dropped a few hours ago. So if you didn't know, now you know. Vast majority of the characters have been revealed to this point. Obviously, they're going to leave a couple of them for reasons why we should watch it. But if you've seen most of the trailers to this point, you have seen Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, you've seen Noob Saibot, you've seen Kung Lao, you've seen Liu Kang, you've seen Jade, Kano, Johnny Cage, Cole is coming back, of course, Katana. They've hinted at Melina. We haven't really seen her yet. Kano has kind of made small little appearances. Jax is obviously in this film, and Raiden. Those are your confirmed characters as of now. Oh, and Shao Kahn, I apologize. So that's what we look like so far. That means once we watch the movie, because I'm gonna go watch it. I mean, you know, the trailer that I watched today gave me more. It did look a lot better. I'll tell you what it looked. I'll tell you what it definitely looked better than motherfucking Street Fighter. Because Street Fighter trailer still looked like shit.
Look goofy.
Like it looked too goofy. At least this one looked like how it looked when we watched the old Mortal Kombat films as kids. Like I felt that some of that nostalgia, not all of it, because I don't think they'll ever be able to capture one of the greatest overall entrances to a movie of all time, and that is when the Mortal Kombat song just dropped. Everybody and their mom after that film was trying to go fight somebody for no reason at all, knowing they probably gonna get their ass whooped. But we all thought we was gonna go out here and try to give somebody with a fatality one time for the one time. And that's the thing. Like of all of your major fighting games, like Mortal Kombat is like the definition of come catch this fade. Like
on the sticks.
Yeah, like you finna catch this fade. Like that's Mortal Kombat in a nutshell. Like you finna catch this fade, whether you like it or not. You try to run, I'm gonna hit you. Come here, you're gonna catch this fade. Like so you're not skipping this fade at all.
That's the crazy thing about Mortal Kombat. At the age of 7, you really picked a side. Either you were Scorpion or side.
I was straight up Sub-Zero for the people that don't know what the other side is. I was straight up Sub-Zero.
Scorpion.
I was Team Scorpion. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Scorpion.
Like I was Team Scorpion. Because as a kid we didn't have a choice. We only had like the very first Mortal Kombat game. We had like 9 characters. No, 10 characters. So you really had to kind of figure out what you wanted to do. And then as the Mortal Kombat universe expanded,
yeah, you about right.
As the world and universe expanded, you start getting into the other guys, the other characters, very similar to what we're talking about today, the unsung heroes of Mortal Kombat. Which that's diabolical. It would have made for a brilliant crossover. I just was talking out loud and I was like, that sounds like Micah doing a crossover right now. But I will say, Scorpion is not my all-time Mortal Kombat character. Like if I am in a tournament,
he shouldn't be.
If I am in a tournament and I need to run the fade with somebody, it's gonna be Ermac or it's gonna be Nightwolf. 100%. Like those are two of my favorite characters. Ermac's very difficult to use, so the fact that he is my favorite character, like, let you know what kind of work I put in. And my close third is literally Kenshi. Like Kenshi is my close third because Kenshi is a fool.
Kenshi is definitely a fool.
Kenshi is a fool.
That's cool. I'm just say user. I'm that's unfortunate. I'm gonna just tell you the real, and y'all can agree to or disagree. But I have my favorites too. Obviously, most people are gonna say Liu Kang, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. Mr. GQ did not, and I will not, and I will do the same. I will not pick any of those. I will kick anybody's ass on this panel right now with Sector. You try me if you want to. I'll kick your ass with Sector. I'm going to go through the ground and uppercut you. I'm going to throw rockets at you from my chest. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to kick your ass with Sector.
Okay. Sound good.
It don't say no. You sit there and say it sound good. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since before you was born on Sega Genesis, and I played Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3.
It doesn't matter how long
4,
you play.
5, and I can still kick your ass to this day.
It doesn't matter how long you play.
I just feel like you're going to pick a lame character anyway. So go ahead and tell us who your lame character is.
Well,
and it better not be Scorpion.
No, I'm not. I don't play with Scorpion that much.
No, I'm just gonna say it like, if you've been around Mr. GQ long enough, and Micah has, we used to have these tournaments at my house, so I know what the business is.
Yeah, I never was able to enter a tournament at your house with Mortal Kombat. So, yeah. Only one I answered was Madden, and I lost. And I will take my L gracefully because I do not play that shit.
So the good times, the good times, the good times. So let's get into this Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao thing that nobody expected. Like, of course, when we initially brought it up, we absolutely thought it was clickbait, thought it was fake, thought it wasn't real. Like, I had already read a story previously that he was coming out of retirement. We knew about the Mike Tyson fight that's around the corner, and then I saw him on a podcast, and he was talking about, he's coming out of retirement, and he's got like 3 fights that he wants to, get done with. And like, because a lot of people don't realize, but the Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather fight is an official fight. Like, it's going on the fight record. And now that we're gonna get Mayweather and Pacquiao to basically 2 old heads getting in the ring together, because let's call it what it really is. It's 2 old heads getting in the ring. However, I've always said this, and I'll stand by this. When it comes to boxing, the smaller fighters have a much higher ceiling on their perishable skill than your heavyweights do. They just do. So it's not out of the realm of impossible that this fight is actually entertaining because of their respective skill sets. They're not knockout artists. That's not what they're known for. Now, Pacquiao is known for, he done hit a couple of people, and he also has one of the most devastating I got knocked out fights we've ever seen. We've seen when Pacquiao got hit with that tombstone one time for the one time, and my man was out of there. I watched that fight live.
Shout out Marquez.
I thought that man was dead. DED dead. Like,
man, I thought it was Apollo Creed.
Yeah. Like, so September 19th is going to be Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. That fight will take place in the Sphere of Las Vegas. So that'll be fun. So I didn't know this. So Pacquiao came out of retirement last July, and then he lost to, he drew a draw with Barrios. He's going to compete in an exhibition April 18th against Ruslan, a name I'm not even going to try to say, Probadikov, I guess. I don't know. I can't pronounce his name, so I apologize for butchering it, but I don't do well with Russian names because y'all's pronunciation is very different than what we see. But anyway.
A lot of spitting. Yeah, you come from like pause.
Yeah, you coming from a place that don't exist in my repertoire. But let's just get to the meat and potatoes of that part though. What are your initial thoughts on this future this round 2 old head fight?
I'm gonna let Mr. Gent go first.
It's exciting actually, like to see, people that I watched growing up, come back into the ring. Manny Pacquiao was one of my favorite fighters for the longest, honestly. Then Floyd, into the picture, and then he's, money. So it's gonna be an entertaining fight. I know it's the second time they fought, but I feel like this is different. Like this is the same fight but different at the same time. So I'm excited to see it. Honestly. I don't have too much to say about it. Honestly.
Okay, so initially I thought this was going to be a fake fight too. I thought it was fake news. Before I go on to Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather 2, Manny Pacquiao and Mike Tyson absolutely doesn't need to happen.
I agree.
If Mayweather's going to fight an older fighter, I know one older fighter that will fight him that's already retired, and I think he'll come out of retirement just to fight Mayweather, and that is who a lot of people consider the best fighter of the 90s and early 2000s, and that is Roy Jones Jr. They're around the same age. They're around the same shape. Why not go fight Roy Jones Jr.? Why fight a 60-plus-year-old Mike Tyson?
Because Roy Jones still got enough knockout power to hurt Mayweather.
Of course he does. And Mayweather still got enough shape to have a decent fight against a lot of people. So
I'll buy that.
Like Mayweather never stopped taking care of his body. We all know this. But that's my take on the whole Tyson thing. As far as Pacquiao and Mayweather, I mean, we saw this fight, and I'm not saying Pacquiao had a fair chance because later on it came out he had a torn rotator cuff or whatever it was. Maybe he actually lost and they were making stuff up to make him. I don't care what it was. We already seen this fight. The fight was boring. We didn't care for it. There is a singer, and the singer says, the lyrics of the song say, "It's just a little too late." Right? Unfortunately for Mayweather and Pacquiao, it's not just a little too late. It's far too late. Nobody cares who wins this fight. Obviously, Pacquiao is probably like, if I can give him his first loss on his record, that's something big. No, you do not. Neither one of y'all get props for beating somebody that's out of their prime and way past it now. Neither one of y'all have gotten to wait. What? Pacquiao retired in 21?
Something like that, but then he came out of retirement.
Right. Like both fighters have already retired. It's not something I want to see. It's not anything I want to see at this point. And it's not me saying Mayweather would have dominated Pacquiao the first time or Pacquiao would have dominated Mayweather the first time. It's me simply saying the time has passed. It is what it is. Even if Mayweather was to lose this fight, nobody's going to hold it against him. They can't hold it against him.
Yeah. To give you guys a perspective here. So when Pacquiao came out of retirement, the guy that he lost to is the guy that Ryan Garcia just beat for the title. Like Garcia embarrassed that boy, and it was bad.
And Garcia pissed me off trying to take a picture like Kobe. Like, don't do that no more.
Listen, I wish people would stop doing that in general. The Kobe iconic pose is reserved for something different, and not now. Granted, because boxing is one of those sports that's kind of weird.
Jason Tatum. Gross.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
Well,
when he did that shit was cringy.
See, for Jason Tatum, I understand it because Kobe was his idol and his mentor.
Yeah.
Like Ryan, I have not seen a single picture, video of anything of Ryan Garcia and Kobe Bryant together. Like Kobe helped train. Like Jason Tatum went to Mamba University and did he still got a voicemail and text message on his phone from Kobe. I'm not gonna be mad at Jason Tatum for doing that personally, but Ryan Garcia 100%. Because and Micah knows this. Like boxing's weird because you got he's like the IWB or whatever. There's 4 different boxing promotions and they all have a champion of the same weight class, and then they start doing these super fights where they start merging titles, and that's why cats end up showing up to the ring with 5 fucking championship belts on and shit.
And not only do they show up with that much, after they show up with that, the promotion they were fighting under, whether it be IBWC or IWC, whatever, after their title gets merged into another, they just create a new one and have somebody else go for it until somebody beats them again and they merge it again. It's the dumbest thing ever on planet Earth.
That's boxing. And then they want to charge these fighters a fee for the belt, which I think is insane. Like when Crawford said, "Fuck that, y'all can have his belt back because I'm not finna pay y'all $100,000 or whatever the fuck they was asking for." I was like, "Nah, that shit was crazy." Is the main character back?
Man, I'm all back from what? That implies I was gone.
Well, you were gone taking care of main character things, trying to get your audio together.
Yeah. The audio's back. The nigga back. Let's back on track.
You heard him. Welcome back.
What's that?
Yes, who's
Happy
back?
Wednesday. Like the tagline, but back again. Like my tagline says, be the main character. We might get into that more later. We might not. Whatever. At the end of the day, just make sure that your life is your life.
That part.
Outlaws back.
Back again.
Yes, he's
What-
back.
So what have I missed?
So we actually just wrapped up the first conversation. We're about to tear into the second one, but just to keep you up to speed real quick, we was talking about the fact that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are officially fighting again in September. So from one beef to another beef, we're gonna talk about right now the current hottest, most popular beef going on in America right now, and that is 50 Cent and T.I. And it's getting spicy. We taking personal shots at each other, at the wives. We got sons taking pictures at people's dead parents' graves. Like we got diss tracks coming out. Like
Honestly, it feels like two unks fighting at a family reunion.
that's what we called the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. Was two old heads fighting.
Yeah, that's really what that felt like. Like Floyd and Pacquiao again. Like I don't know. Like just. What can we get some new blood, some new beef? I don't know what happened. Why are these old niggas going at each other?
Well, I mean, to be fair, the 50 Cent and T.I., it is new beef. The whole beef is because T.I. called out 50 Cent for verses, and 50's like, man, whatever, you can't mess with me, this and that. And 50 started taking personal shots. So like he does, because that's what 50 does. And somebody needs to tell, what is it, King? Somebody needs to tell him stay out of grown folk business. Like, stay in a child's place. I don't give a damn if you're 21 now. Stay in a child's place. This ain't for you. You understand me? This ain't for you. When your dad was 21 and making hits, you weren't even born yet. This ain't for you. Sit your young ass down.
All things considered, though, in a real head-to-head like versus battle, my money on T.I.
Of course, I don't.
Yeah, it's not
anybody
really
can.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love 50's music. Like, the man got classics, but T.I. is an actual lyricist. That man, like, he live and breathe bars.
Well, and a lot of people don't give, like, because T.I. had even talked about it.
What up, Reed?
And a lot of people, he said it in his podcast interview, like he's like and like people tried to discredit it, but he's like, I'm really the father of trap music.
He is.
Absolutely.
He had a whole album called Trap Music. Like that was what the fucking album was called. Like what we hear now, as far as trap music, it branched from what T.I. did. Now, granted, I think what they did was that they took it and they fucked it up. However,
I agree.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. We talked about that last week, actually, the collabs. But
I mean, I feel like T.I. he shaped the current rap landscape, as far as like trap beats and the whole trap kind of flow.
Yeah, there was a whole relay of those guys, except T.I. had it first. He obviously passed the baton over to like Jeezy and those guys, because Jeezy played a role in the trap music game too, and he did help elevate the trap music game 100%. I do think he very much was a part of it in a way that people like. I mean, obviously, me, you, and Mike and notice we grew up like when Jeezy had them at first come out. Like we knew about the Snowman, you know what I'm saying? Like we knew, like that was a big thing. Like if you was talking about the Snowman back then, you knew what the fuck was going on. People's rocking the shirts with the chains, boys in the hood, like you knew what it was. Who I do think, I won't branch too far from the beef part of it, but somebody else who played a role in the trap music game that I don't think got a lot of he didn't get a lot of credit, even though he's still around, was actually Plies too. Plies played a role in it too. Especially in the MySpace era. He was huge in the MySpace era. Like now he's just like, he's funny as shit on social media now, but like he played a big role in the MySpace era, because that's when him and like Ace Hood at first come out. That's when DJ Khaled kind of started showing up, like, so like that's when like trap music started to get more, is poppy the right word to use, Micah? Like it started to go from that really hardcore to like more mainstream, where it was like safe. It became safe. You know what I'm saying? Versus what T.I. did was that raw, unfiltered trap music, what Jeezy did, that raw, unfiltered, the beginnings of a guy like Plies was doing that raw, stuff like that. Killer Mike, exactly.
mean-
Put that back up there. Killer Mike was another one. He was
Plies,
huge
people
back then.
forget that Plies had actual bars. Like, if
Man,
you listen
what?
to Goons Lurking,
Listen,
the man had
this
bars.
man had a song called "Hiding in Your Bushes." That's goon activity. Like,
Yeah.
if a motherfucker telling you,
I
"Hey, I'm
will
hiding in
say
your
this,
bushes,"
man. I'll say this. I love Plies. I just never consider Plies as trap music. Do I consider him big in the South and somebody that should be considered very vital for the history of Southern rap music? You're goddamn right. I do. I just
feel like
never considered him trap music
I
because
feel like he's more trap adjacent, but like you gotta understand, trap as a genre wasn't really defined when he was around.
Yeah.
It was still pretty loose.
Mr. Gent, I see your mouth moving. I don't know if you're talking or not, or if you got us on mute. I just want to make sure you don't have anything to say.
I think he's speaking of someone in his household.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Side note, from like at a glance, his hat looked like a Waffle House hat.
Anyway, back to the Plies thing. Yeah. I'm a Plies fan. I like Plies, but listen, bro. I don't even feel him being trap adjacent. I just feel like Plies was a Florida rapper. He raps like everybody from Florida. He really does.
What
Only
does a
difference is
Florida rapper even mean? Like, I kind of feel like offended for Floridian niggas.
why.
I don't know. The way you said it was kind of like it was. I don't know if it was like negative connotations or positive connotations.
There's no negative connotations. If I was to say, Zero's not big because he's a Houston rapper, nobody would take that offensive in Houston. Okay, yeah, like right. So Trick Daddy and then Plies was more like the second coming of how Trick Daddy was. They made mainstream music, but you can't necessarily classify them as trap. But Plies was big for that era. I'm not taking away his influence on the era, right?
I mean,
so,
yeah, Plies definitely made music that
listen.
even the ladies could appreciate.
And what he said? He said what we was banging Zero in. Yeah, I'm not saying y'all wasn't banging Zero.
Hold
I'm
on.
saying
Let me
the
fix this.
style.
Let me spell check him real quick.
And even more so, and even more so when he said we were banging Zero in the Midwest early 2000s, people were banging Plies in the mid 2000s.
They was banging it. He was getting played everywhere. He had songs that were mainstream, 100%. But he also had those I always called them the obscure tracks that were really hot, but you couldn't play them on the radio because it was just like too much.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
like,
but my only pushback is whenever y'all said he was trap adjacent. I'm like, no, because Plies had a lot of nasty music.
But
most of Plies hits was not, and most of his stuff was not trap music adjacent.
True, but
I feel like
I still think he contributed because of the messaging
for Kevin Gates to run, pretty much.
That right, and I feel the same way. I feel like it's more Kevin Gates type of rap,
being like a prototype Kevin Gates. I could buy that.
Or Kevin Gates being a prototype of anyway.
Well,
yeah,
it can be prototype, but yeah.
I mean, not to discredit, Kevin Gates, like he by himself, he's a phenomenal, artist.
Oh, absolutely. Like, listen, there will be no Kevin Gates slander on this show.
No,
there's nothing but respect for Kevin Gates on this show, especially which shout out to Kevin Gates with the new coffee thing he got going on. That's actually dope as shit. Because if you haven't seen his interview on Club Shay Shay yet, man, you missing out. That was a really good. And if you're a father, you need to watch that because he put you on game on some stuff about just talking about like about messing with his kids, just things that he said.
He's doing interviews altogether.
Kevin Gates is a cool human. He's a cool human. That's how I feel about him. Other than that, his music is fucking garbage to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never liked it. I've never been a fan of it. I never liked his style. And somebody's gonna sit here and say he's a hater. No, I mean, hey, look, if he's doing what he if he's rapping the way he's rapping and he's making money, by all means, keep doing what you do, my brother. I'm happy for you. I'm just not a fan of your music.
And I can respect that. I go ahead, my brother.
Oh no,
Nah,
I'm
he's trying to control his camera.
Yeah,
No,
I'm doing
like
that.
I feel like this is a safe space for people to have different opinions. Like I don't think of you as being a hater if you don't like Kevin Gates. Me personally, I like him a lot. You ain't got to like him. That's cool.
Valid question. Do we consider Lil Flip as kind of trap music back in the day?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, I feel like Lil Flip was just like kind of the epitome of like Houston rap at the time.
But you know what though? What we can say about Lil Flip, because the same way. So let's go. We're gonna go back just a hair when we talked about Zero and how people didn't really know about Zero outside of like the South. And yes, I know he talked about the Midwest, but Lil Flip was kind of one of our faces to represent Texas on a mainstream scale, to where like, hey, he brought eyes to. And I'm not saying that the other us in Texas that live here knew about all these artists, okay, but Lil Flip, Paul Wall, Chameleonaire, those guys brought
those are the mainstream guys.
Brought, Ghetto Boys to a little bit. Like Ghetto Boys were out there, but they weren't like what Lil Flip was out there doing features of R&B females, and it was like
Scarface though, bro. I
know.
Scarface.
I know. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying.
No, to my brother's point, like we would know a Scarface, we would know UGK, we would know, goddamn Big Hawk, and his brother. We would know them cats.
Michael 5,000 watts. Like we know those people.
We would know those.
Somebody in Wisconsin might actually know who Lil Flip is. Like that is an actual possibility.
Well, the reason why I push back on Ghetto Boys with Scarface is because Scarface is known nationally in the US, bro. Like big, I didn't even realize how big Scarface was. That's why I just kind of was like, nah, Ghetto Boys, Scarface. He's like the exception to everybody else you named, because even in New York they fuck with Scarface. Even in Detroit, they fuck with everybody. Like they know who Scarface is. They do. So I kind of, but everybody else, y'all said yes.
You know what? Here's a kind of, it might be a deep cut. What about Devin the Dude? Because he's technically a Houston rapper.
He is technically a Houston. That's valid.
But like, I don't know if cats outside of Houston knew Devin the Dude. I know who Devin the Dude is.
Well, we knew him. I knew him because of our dad. Our dad was big on he was big on Devin the Dude.
Yeah.
Right. See, Reed, and that's what I'm saying.
And see, I'm glad he said, because see, I discovered him because of MySpace. That's how I discovered Tech Nine. And I'm a big Tech Nine guy. Like I fucks with Tech Nine heavy. But it's true. It's very true, because now he's getting more and more notoriety now than he did in the underground in the 2000s, because the way music was pushed out. Once streaming kind of became a thing and people discovered, started hearing about him, because people like Busta Rhymes and Eminem putting Tech Nine on, they were like, hold on, who is this guy? And then they started going back and being like, hold on, this dude can spit. And then that helped open the door for guys like Hopsin. And people were like, oh shit, who's this Hopsin guy? Like
Hopsin fire.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah. No, we like I said, we absolutely.
I got a weird question.
That's fire.
And I guess the only person that can really tell us differently might be Moo or the chat. But like being, a teenager in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like I listened to like a lot of Southern rap. 3 6 Mafia was putting out a lot of mainstream hits. We had T.I. and a lot of other Southern rappers getting big, and of course Houston rap. But like, was people rocking with that outside of the South? Because I can tell you all about the Southern rap game at the time, but was that mainstream rap to everybody else? Really,
it was if you listen to music like that.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised
if you were into music.
You'd be surprised 100%. That a lot of like Southern. Okay, so here's what I'll say: Southern mainstream music was everywhere. Southern underground music was not. So like in your early 2000s, probably up until like 2006, like if you weren't from Houston or Louisiana, you didn't know who Mike Jones was. You didn't know who Paul Wall was. You should know. You should have known who UGK was.
So you
so-
say people didn't know who Mike Jones was, but Mike Jones is the first album. It got out there.
You know
Like,
well,
what?
right,
I'm-
but I am referring to when he was playing in Houston on the radio, but he didn't have an album. That was mixtape Mike Jones.
Okay, so see, you didn't
So-
specify, so I was just like,
but that's what he you know what I'm saying. He's like referring to like the things we were listening to in the South and in Houston. Is that what they were listening? That's why our preference was saying like
A-ball MJG.
the early 2000s, like the mid 2000s, Houston rap really took on.
oh yeah,
But the early 2000s, like I think right around when Jay-Z and UGK did Big Pimpin' is when Texas really got put on the map. And
but
not only
we
Texas,
know who
but
UGK was long before that.
right.
like
And then
been like that.
and then you talk about somebody like Outkast, right? And then after Outkast go out there, the South got something to say. Then you have Ludacris. Then you have Nelly. That's when the South really started getting put on.
And then you had that
for
Texas,
rapping.
that Texas collab. You know, you had grills. You know, so you had St. Louis and Houston together because Grills was hot at that point in time. That blew
boy
up.
said Lil
But then
Troy.
You had Lil
Yes,
Troy.
sir.
Then you had the Atlanta and Houston because you had Mike Jones and you had the Yin Yang Twins collab on some stuff. So yeah, no,
Houston definitely finally hit its stride in the mid 2000s after Still Tipping and then Slim Thug.
yeah. The day hell broke loose was a big, because that's also because of the music videos. Because that video is still one of the hardest music videos that was in that era. Like that could arguably be a top 5 of all time music video in that particular era because of everything that video encapsulated Texas. Like everything Texas was in that video at that time. The beats, the vehicles that we was driving, everything was in that one video. And then you think about the artists and everything that they was talking about, and it was like, yeah, that was like Texas music in a nutshell right there.
I'd argue this might be another deep cut, but like I've heard some cats banging Mo City Dawn outside the South.
Because Mo City Dawn is an anthem.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, listen, I will use my other career field. When I went to training, when we got ready to graduate, I had put on a bunch of people from the Midwest and like the East Coast and the parts of the West Coast that had never heard of music from the South. And I played them Mo City Dawn. I played them Lil Kiki knocking pitches off you wall. They was like, hold on. They was like, who is then? I started playing them like Zero. I played I Hate You for the first time. And they was like, hold on. Because they was having some problems with their females. And they was like, hold on. This song really speaks to me. That one, M16, One Deep. You know, like you know what I'm saying? We started running
No
down this
Help?
line. Yeah, like back when then we talk about the ABN days. You know, we didn't even talk about Trader Truth in this whole conversation.
I
But
didn't hear Trade the Truth not one time in this whole
but
conversation.
it's because
y'all can miss me with Trade the Truth. Y'all can miss me with
Moo,
Trade.
Moo, you gotta understand. Trader Truth kind of hurt us. We're gonna say it like that. We're gonna say it like that.
I was never a big fan of Trade the Truth anyway, but
That's
yeah.
fine. But he did, like, you know, when you like you got like the president, right? Let's put it in its proper context, right? The president, the face, the guy that kind of represents, you know, was big time. A lot of it was like Lil Flip and like Slim Thug. That was like your president, vice president of everything that we do, in a way, just because they were able to go out and about and do all the things. Zero was like he was like literally like the captain of the hood. Like if Zero said it, you rocked with it. If you crossed Zero, everybody was on your head. Like, so when that whole beef went down, it was like, hey man, we picking sides, but it ain't really a side to pick. It's Zero over everything.
But I felt like the city of Houston, even before that, wasn't fucking with Trey like that no more because Trey left Houston and went with to Atlanta and signed with T.I.
But that was later. That was much later though.
Even if it was much later, like you can walk the streets of Houston right now and say, name me 5 Trey, because J Dog was a bigger influence on Houston than Trey was.
No,
easily.
for sure.
So like you can sit there and be like, walk the city of Houston and be like, name me 5 Trey songs, and a lot of people would not have been able to name you 5 Trey songs that was his songs outside of ABN. That wasn't going to happen. They just knew who Trey was and be like, all right, he fuck with Ro, that's Ro cousin or whatever it is, and he part of ABN. Like Slim Thug, like Boss Hog Outlaws was even bigger than Trey, like in Houston. So I don't know how it would even.
So DJ Screw and Michael 5,000 Watts are like founding fathers. Like if you want us to kind of give you the level of their influence and all, like they are founding fathers of a specific style of music that we grew up on, and there are things in the South that would never have been the same without those two. Because anytime a song, excuse me, obviously, you know, DJ Screw passed away a lot sooner than Michael 5,000 Watts did, but like every time a new mainstream song came out and we heard it here in Texas, we was waiting for somebody to drop the chopped and screw version. That's how influential DJ Screw and Michael 5,000 Watts was. Like when we heard, no matter what the song was, R&B song, rap song, whatever, we was like, when the chopped and screw version coming out? Because that's what we went to the store to get, was the chopped and screw version of whatever song it was. You would take a 3-minute and 45-second song and that bitch would get chopped and screwed into be an 11-minute song.
And I'm listening to the whole thing.
I'll even take it a step further, man. Like, I don't know how much y'all are like into, like, I guess like synth wave and lo-fi music and shit like that, but vaporwave, cloud rap, all that shit is like descended from fucking chopped and screwed music. And that shit is like really big with like Gen Z now. Like they love that fucking like that SoundCloud kind of rap game. Yeah, that all came from chopped and screwed.
Yeah, Swisher House is a big deal. Jay Prince, obviously, you know, that's another one. You know, these are all people who like were a part of our childhood. We'll just kind of really say, because that's these are also the thing about like the artists that we had here in Texas versus like some of these cats in other states and areas. Like we could walk the streets of Houston and run into them like it was normal. And they will fuck with you. They'll see you. They'll take a picture with you. They'll dap you up. Like they never felt like they were bigger than the city.
I feel like every Houstonian got a rapper story. Somebody, you don't met at least one rapper if you don't been here your whole life. You don't ran into somebody.
Outlaw, we were on the set for a Little Kiki music video. We was in the same hood when he shot the video. We were there.
Yeah,
I think to Outlaw's point, with everybody has a rapper story. This is true. And he said, "Did y'all run into Beyonce?" Absolutely not, bro. No.
You don't be rapping like that.
We don't like that. Listen. No.
I be forgetting Beyonce from Houston
because she don't act like it.
Here's the thing about Houston. All right, for those of you on here that don't understand, and this is the best way I can put anything, and I think everybody here will
in Nebraska
will agree. Of course, he did.
I told you.
Of course.
So. Correct me if I'm wrong, Houston people on this podcast. Houston is one of the only cities in America where you can go platinum out the trunk of your car because we ride so hard with artists from our city.
Yeah.
Not only that, I've been on record saying for the past 10 years, Houston has the most individualistic style when it comes to music. I don't even think any other city has a style that stands out the way like if you hear something, you know that's Houston.
I feel like every rapper that we just talked about, you just know they're a Houstonian or they out the South. You just know, like it's a very distinct sound, and mostly because they all fucked with each other. They all probably had the same producers.
No, man.
Yeah, like well, think about it, Mikey. You know, there's one of the most popular like NCAA football inside the locker room moments was a player from Houston rapping a Houston style to get them hyped up pregame. In Oklahoma, he was playing for the Oklahoma Sooners, and you knew it because he started saying words like "I done came down." You knew right off the bat. He was like, "Yeah,
that's a legendary moment." That boy was going off.
That's a signature like Houston thing when you hear that. Like you hear "I done came down" or "I done came through." Like those are very specific to Houston.
I mean, the June 27 freestyle.
Yeah,
come on.
June by itself. Like the chop and screw version, by the way, is like 40 minutes long.
Houston has its own holiday. 713 Day, July 13th.
713 Day is a real thing.
I got one for y'all. And I don't even think Fat Al is from Houston, but he made the "I Done Came Down" song that we all know. I done came down. He not even from Houston. That should tell you enough right there.
Because if you and then kind of going off of what Michael was talking about the artist, and I know we talked about a beef, but now we're talking about music because it's going to tie into our next topic. But just think about, because we talked about all these Houston rappers, and there's some very key ones that we didn't name. That like Charlie Boy, like. Think about what Charlie Boy was doing. He was doing things that people see Drake doing now. That rapper that was singing on beats. Zero was doing the same thing where he was putting that melody on a beat that sounded like he was singing.
All the rappers sung their own hooks.
Yes, that's a thing. Like, and you can't tell me that Drake didn't get that from Texas. You can't tell me that. You can't.
There's the reason Hall Week exists in Houston. HAW, Houston Appreciation Week exists for one reason with Drake and one reason only. We put Drake on.
Yeah, and then he left us to go hang out with the Atlanta rappers, but whatever, nigga.
Yeah, because I mean, we got.
I don't blame him. Atlanta started catching fire.
Yeah.
With that
no. And the crazy thing, right? This whole conversation we had, we only talked about the city of Houston. We didn't even talk about Dallas rappers. Like, and truth be told, Paul Wall's technically he's from a little up further north. He's from like that Round Rock, Georgetown area. But some people he grew up there, but he also grew up in Houston. But a lot of people don't know that he is from that Round Rock, Georgetown, Pflugerville area. But if you don't know, now you know.
I mean, hell, that's like saying Post Malone is a Dallas rapper, even though he kind of left the rap game. Shit, how many years ago? That might have just been a phase.
I don't know if it's a phase. He was country first, and then he kind of got into his hip hop rap, and he went back to his roots. That's really all he did.
So you're not really wrong, because I've read about Post Malone's story. He wanted to be in a rock band, and then he just kind of fell into rap. Did that. He was actually a decent rapper, and then he actually kind of just a decent all around artist. He's not my favorite, but like I don't hate it when he come on the radio. I really don't.
Why your face look like that?
He a decent what?
He called him a decent rapper. That's what he said.
He know how to make a catchy fucking song. Like he ain't the best, like by all means. Like he ain't nowhere near the top, but like he's decent. He can make a catchy song. He can. He's decent the same way DiGiorno pizza is decent pizza.
If I
put a DiGiorno on the oven
Post Malone is as decent of a rapper as Miley Cyrus was when she dibbed and dabbled in hip hop.
I am crying. Wheezing
Michael,
over here.
My nigga, if we over here at the house chilling, I put a fucking DiGiorno pizza in the oven, you gonna be like, nah, nigga, I'm not gonna eat that shit, or you gonna eat that shit?
I'm gonna eat DiGiorno.
That's how I fucking feel about Post Malone. Like, I'm not gonna tell you turn that nigga off.
Yeah, I will tell you turn Post Malone rap music off for shit sure.
I'm not.
And Mr. Jet know that shit to be true. I will definitely say turn that shit off for sure. And you know me at this point. And you know me at this point to know I will.
Is Post Malone in your playlist, Moo? That's what Reed wanted to know. I will tell you, Post Malone is in my playlist because he's got some songs. He's got some songs.
He's definitely in my playlist. Facts. Bubba Sparks over Post Malone. Facts. Anyway, Post Malone is in my playlist. That's not debatable. Post Malone is in my playlist, but not for no damn rap music. I be damned. He sucked as a rapper. I'm sorry.
My controversial opinion, his first two albums, he had a couple of bangers.
Hey, listen, White Iverson, Candy Paint, I Fall.
White Iverson was trash. You know what, Mr. GQ, you know that shouldn't surprise you because you know that's all I always felt about it.
Nothing surprises me when you say it.
That shit was trash.
My brother listened to my favorite Post Malone song. Candy Paint went fucking hard. I don't care. That nigga had that melody on fucking.
Yeah, bro. He was on Paint with the white on top. Like that shit was that shit. Yeah, I still listen.
That's on my boy. You have some flow, right?
That's on my chill playlist. Like even the song he did with Wayne, "What About Me?" That was a good.
I give him that one.
That was a good fucking song. Like.
I will give him that one.
You telling me you didn't like Wow? That beat was fire. You didn't like Wow?
Look, I'm gonna say this about Post Malone. I'm gonna say this and leave the shit alone. I'm gonna say
the
this.
beat is fire. He's
The
not.
beat is 100% fire.
That's crazy.
Like-
I'm gonna say this about Post Malone. He can't come to the cookout, but he can get a to-go play. I could bring him to work the next day, but he can't come.
He
Well,
can be outside
so,
at
now,
the gate
listen,
and I can hand him a plate.
Listen,
Yeah,
he
we
can't-
can hand him a play, but he can't come inside.
Yeah,
he
he
can't
can
come
pull
in.
up.
And that's because
You
what
hear
we
the music
understand
smells
it.
in the car.
Yeah, because we from what we understand, that man don't like to shower much, so that's why he can't come to the cookout. But
Exactly. Well, you gotta wait outside.
that's really it. Like, yeah,
But-
I'll
it
wrap
might
it in
change his
full so
life,
bring it
though.
outside though.
I guess to answer your question, GQ, not only do I have old Posty on my playlist, I got new Posty on my playlist.
Yeah,
too,
I
because
have I have country Posty on my playlist.
Hello.
100%.
I
huge
have
country
Post
album,
Malone
baby.
on the
Country album
playlist.
was fire.
I just don't.
Fire.
I just
You
don't
hear
have
me?
rapping
Fire.
Post Malone on the playlist.
Listen,
Nah, I got
I
Post
don't
Malone on my
have
playlist.
Post
I ain't
Malone.
gonna lie.
There
Rapping
are-
Post Malone
I'm not
is
even gonna hold you.
ass.
there are old heads from the country game that gave Post Malone his respect for that country album. That country album was better than anything Beyonce put out on the country album. I'll tell you that.
It
right
was
the
better
fuck
than
now.
Beyonce's album that year, bro.
But,
Like,
it
fire.
shit on Beyonce's country album. Actually, I'm gonna be
And this
real.
is why-
Obviously,
And this is
obviously
why
it did.
I say that Post is a decent artist, all things considered, because over the last 10 years, the man has changed his sound up, and it ain't sounded bad. So
Okay.
what you want to say about the nigga music? Like, he don't make bad.
I will say
Okay.
this though,
Shit.
Bubba Sparks over Post Malone is crazy.
Absolutely not rapping wise. As a rapper, as a rapper, as a rapper, Post Malone's music is not on my playlist, right? But as an artist, Post Malone is definitely a great artist. I just don't think he's a good rapper.
And to each their own. For
Yeah.
us to even have a whole debate about Post Malone, and that says a lot about his fucking talent. The dude, he honestly, he actually a solid fucking white boy. I give it to him. No matter what the nigga do, he not there.
Yeah, we
whatever
gonna
he,
see-
whatever he does, like
That's the way to put it. Yeah. There you go.
no, whatever Buddy does, I pull up for. Like,
Did he
Post,
call
you
it
got
Buddy?
Yeah, whatever, pal. Boy, I don't fucking know.
All right, so let me. I'm marking this timestamp. But let's transition because we got to talk about it, and the fact that we have as millennials, we have a renaissance of our OG artists dropping music. This does tie back into the T.I. 50 Cent thing, but and then the whole conversation we just had about music. But you know, Juvenile dropping dropping new music.
Hey,
T.I. dropping new music, Trick Daddy dropping new music. Bow Wow and B2K are going back on tour again. So B2K done reconciled, even though people's baby mamas done got fucked and everything else going on.
And look, because I want to be able to sit in the same room as cuz I ain't even going
I'm
lie.
it's a fade on site, bro. Like
On site. You gotta fight me
All
on
I know-
stage while we performing.
You know, man, bills must have been fucking due, bro. Bills
That's how I
they
feel.
gotta fucking due.
and of course, you know, like Ludacris been dropping nuggets here and there because that 44 bars was absolutely sensational. Like Ludacris dropped shit just to make people remember it. Don't forget about me because I'm still here. And then of course, yes, I did say that. Yes,
Yeah. You heard
I
that
said
right.
that. Yes, Bow Wow and B2K are about to go on tour again. I just read about it last Tuesday. I thought it was fake. There's a lot of stuff out there where I thought it was fake news and it actually wasn't, which is crazy, but it's a real thing.
Have you heard that Bobby V and Ray J dropped the song again?
Ugh.
Yeah, it was trash. But
Can I wish you would have never said that.
I
was gonna say,
when you
why?
said that because listen,
Brandy brother.
listen. Let
Did you
I'm up.
hear it and think that we had to suffer through it too?
I was gonna say, why
Yeah,
did they do that?
Why
So
would you,
let me-
why would you share that with us?
So Michael, you're gonna appreciate
Look it
this,
up.
but listen, Ray J catfished all of us. Okay, let me tell you why. Because we all know the song "One Wish." We're familiar with this, right? The song itself is not a bad song.
Oh no, he ate. He definitely.
He did. We
cooked
don't
it
know
up,
if
for
we
sure.
don't know if he wrote it. We don't know if his sister wrote it. We don't know if they did it together. We don't. Micah may know. However, and this goes into him and Bobby V both. When they sang that shit live, oh sorry, and Omarion,
Ooh-wee.
that
Ooh-wee.
shit sounded like nails on a motherfucking chalkboard back in the 80s.
Ooh-wee.
Because Ray J sounded like them rappers that was crying on beats when he sang that shit. And then he was on that reality show and he was singing that shit on the piano. And I was like, this motherfucker catfished us. That's when I realized the power of a producer in a music studio saving trash artists and making them sound good.
You know what?
Oh, Mixer's been going crazy since the 80s.
I actually
man.
got an excellent segue from that because you made a salient point, my brother. So
If
our
I
father,
had one wish.
our father,
That's exactly
most
how he
people don't know
sounded, too.
this,
No, he
but
sounded worse than that.
our father actually produced music back in the day. People might not know that.
This is true.
My dad told me years
It's
ago. there are
100%
some-
true.
He said there are some people that can genuinely sing, and he said there are some people who can only sing in the studio. I can make you sound like you can sing in the studio, but you get out there on stage, I can't fucking save you. That's
Lay your ass
fucking
in the studio.
that's
Or
fucking
on
Ray
tour.
J and that's fucking J-Lo, because J-Lo can't fucking sing either.
A note.
J-Lo should have stuck to dancing, but that's neither here nor there.
She should have
But-
stuck to fucking acting because her
like,
acting ain't
and
bad.
see- and what's crazy,
Should've
right?
stuck to being Jenny on the block. She would have made more money that way.
And so here's the thing, me and Micah, we're big components of the R&B game for the longest time, and I truly believe this, and I really thought that Bobby V had a decent voice when he came out, and then I heard that man live on a Versus, and I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened here? Same with Omarion, mind you, Omarion had bangers until you hear him live, and you like, what the fuck did I just hear?
Ass.
Because they were dancers that were made to be that were trying to they tried to turn him into singers.
So, and it's because he tried to be too much like his cousin, because Marcus Houston can actually sing. Marcus Houston came from the church, and you could tell by the way he sing. He came from the church, not the church, y'all. The church. That's where he came from, because you don't get a voice like that just from a singing coach. Your ass you grew up in the church house. That's how you can tell Marcus Houston can sing. Omarion must have went to the same church and thought he could sing and tried real hard, and it just no. But
he was the backup dancer at that church.
But see, we also knew about Marcus Houston because of IMX, because we all grew up singing First Time. All right, that was like a childhood song for a lot of young boys to sing. We
Watch Me Do My Thing. That was my shit right there.
That was a good one too. That was another good one. Let's see here. Young Buck and Lloyd Banks was trash without 50 Cent and Big Time Studios and videos.
Wait a second, because Lloyd Banks was never
I'm about to say,
trash.
hold on. Lloyd Banks is definitely not trash.
Never.
I will say this. Lloyd Banks is one of the best lyricists that I've heard in my life.
Thank you.
Like Lloyd Banks
he's one of the best lyricists.
So go for it.
But as an artist and making songs,
trash.
I completely concur.
Absolutely trash. But as far as rapping goes,
as far as rapping
Banks
goes, he's
is
one of the
up
best
there.
pure rappers you will see. That he prefaced it and said Lloyd Banks freestyle was elite. Right.
Okay. Yeah, we on the same page.
Because Lloyd Banks got his flowers when Busta Rhymes put him on the Touch It Mega remix.
Yeah.
And he had that blue chinchilla coat on. He absolutely, him and Papoose, they killed that shit. Like, so
chinchilla.
Yeah, that shit was absolutely fire. Now, here's the thing. He's not wrong, because Young Buck has some great solo tracks, and then beats was fire. Like, if you had a sound system and you played some Young Buck, that shit was beating. Especially Shawty Wanna Ride. Like,
Shawty
you was playing that dude, like, yeah, like that.
I'm sorry, bro. It's so funny. It's so funny to hear who y'all think were actually good back then. Now that we're older, and it's funny to me to hear who y'all think was actually good. And the whole time I was always like, yo, he's not good. And people used to be like, man, you just hating. And I got older now and I'm going back and listen. I'm like, yo, I was absolutely right with saying this nigga wasn't good because he was only good for the time. And that's how I feel about Young Buck. Young Buck is only good for the time. His music is not timeless.
Everything
it is horrible.
Notice everything I said was nostalgic related. I talked about a couple of bangers that he had. I didn't say shit about him in 2026.
No, I'm just saying. Because I'm saying from my own personal experience, like when I used to be like, yo, this dude sucks, and people be like, man, you don't know good music, and I'm just like, all right. And then as time went on, you don't hear those songs no more, and I'm like, damn, I did hit the nail on the head back then. Maybe I was a DJ back then without knowing.
That's actually true, because Young Buck, man, trash.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, G Unit was great for the time.
That was true. No, that is
Like G Unit was fire for the time. I'm not even
This is
gonna
why
hold you.
50
Like
Cent would. This
Yeah,
is why
like-
50 Cent with Lucy T.I. Good for the time.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
Because when 50 first came out, them women was straight up glazing that man because that man was upside down with his abs all hanging out. So
Yeah.
like that for real. That man was running on a treadmill. People was like, "Oh my god, look at this man! The man who can't barely open up his mouth and talk. Oh my god!" Like they were losing their fucking mind. They were. My mama was
true.
one of them, and I was like, "Mama, please stop because you're making me uncomfortable." Like
This is true.
I mean, I'm gonna give 50 his flowers though. Hearing Window Shopper on the fucking 8 Mile soundtrack, I was like, who is this guy?
Okay,
Like,
so
that's the
50,
thing.
50 did have hits though. We're not
I was
gonna
about to
we
say,
not gonna
like,
sit there and
fucking
lie about it. He
sure,
had
He
hits.
did.
He had
50 had
hits.
bangers. 50 like bro, many men is a legendary track.
Many
Wish
men.
death upon
20
me.
no. 21 Questions is the all-time
yeah.
50 classic, bro.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I'm about it.
Girl.
Because if you could, because most of us probably tried to literally ask a female 21 questions and see what the fuck would happen. We 100% tried that shit. I know I did, like a motherfucker. I am not gonna pretend like I
Seem
did.
to love me now.
Like, but listen, I was also,
Love
you know,
me if
I
I
was
was down.
I was a big fan of PIMP. I was a big
Bro,
fan.
I'm a
of,
big fan of PIMP.
bro.
I still say that
hey,
shit.
listen, bro. Magic Stick, like with him and Lil Kim, I was like, he had
Stick.
banger, bro. Even
Hey,
Candy Shop, that was a banger.
Wanksta.
Hey, Magic
Wanksta.
Stick.
Wanksta.
And
Well, you
here's
know,
the
he-
crazy part about
Well, he made
50.
Wanksta to make fun of Ja Rule too, which we
He
knew.
didn't have a whole bunch
True.
of albums. If you look at 50's discography, it wasn't a whole lot of albums he made.
No,
It
but
was
just a
like-
lot of bangers. He's had a lot of
Stunt.
bangers.
What was it?
Stunt 101.
I teach you
Stunt 101.
Hated- he hated to
I
love
get
it, man.
money.
Hey,
I get
hey, boy
Uh,
was really doing this
baby,
shit. Like,
baby by me.
hey, hey,
Laughing to the
50
bank.
got some hits.
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
hey, yeah, straight, yeah, move straight. I'm
That's
going
straight to the bank.
with it.
What's the-
Straight to the bank with it.
What's the one he got with Mobb Deep? That shit was a banger too.
Oh, yeah, is that What Up Gangster?
What up, gangster?
What
Yup.
Up Gangster? Yeah, that,
Yeah.
You know what? Would
50
it,
had bangers. Like,
would it
like,
be
I said what I
controversial?
said. Like, it would be an entertaining versus. I'm not saying he will win. It would still be entertaining.
He'll get washed. I'm sorry.
That's
I
fine.
got a controversial question, guys. Would y'all say that 50 might have been the first pop rapper in a sense?
Nope, it was Ja Rule.
No, that was it?
It was definitely the first pop rapper.
Because like a lot of the
I
hits
would-
that we
I would-
naming are like mainstream radio
So,
hits.
the reason why I would push back on Ja Rule is because I would say LL first.
Okay,
Because LL was doing
That's kind of
music
where I
like
was going with that.
LL was doing music like that before Ja Rule. So that's why
I can I can deal with that. I can deal with if you say LL, I can deal with it. But I was just going with the time frame that he was naming.
well, yeah, but
That's
LL
kinda where I
was
was going
he
with
was
it.
he was in that he was a part of that time frame. Like,
I don't. I
like,
mean, he
he
was
dropped
making music
Yes.
during that time frame.
but
He's
I
not
know.
really part
True,
of that time
but-
frame. Oh, that's
and
that's
that's-
a good. Oh yeah, that's a good point right there.
Yeah,
He might be the
That's
better
a
one.
good
He-
point right there.
because he
Oh,
also
MC
did it without
Hammer, too.
cussing. He might did MC Hammer too. MC Hammer might have been the Godfather. Let's do it like that. MC Hammer was probably the Godfather. Will Smith was probably the prodigy child.
hmm
LL was like the
guy that was always here.
Yeah, and then Ja Rule was like the next, like he was the young buck. He was the next one up. Like he took. 'Cause he did most of his rap songs were kind of popish. Most of Ja Rule's rap music was popish. And it
I
was
will say
collabed with a
this.
female.
I think Ja Rule. I feel like how I'm gonna say this is probably gonna come off wrong, but the best
Fuck
way
it.
I can describe it is I feel like Ja Rule is the first pop rapper that came from gangster rap, because he was already doing gangster rap and people knew who he was, but what made him a superstar was finally saying, I'm leaving that shit in the past. Because Ja Rule's first big song was Holla Holla. You know, holla,
Yeah.
holla, and it
Just
was
ready to
considered-
get dollars.
it was gangster rap back then. But when he came out with the Put It On Ya and then a Jennifer Lopez collab, that's what blasted him into
Yeah.
like crazy superstardom.
I mean, Ja Rule was the king of doing songs with J-Lo and Like that was
Ashanti.
and Ashanti. Like that was like the most rerun thing over and over and over again.
To me,
Because LL also remember. Don't forget, LL Cool J did a song with J Lo too. You know,
Yes.
all I need is all I need. I believe what the name of the song was. But you know, one was a much better artist than the other. But I'm gonna leave that alone. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to say it. All right, what was that? 10. That's okay. That's a long time stamp. All right. 05. I'm really getting some. Don't mind me. I'm doing production stuff.
Nas and J Lo. Yeah. So, we've already hit what is it? 10. Let's touch on the purpose of the month, right?
Yes.
We've definitely touched on the music. Granted, I know we promised y'all a Black History program today, and we're still gonna get to Unsung Heroes of Black History, which we're about to get to now. But let's not forget that
Black History music is.
Yeah, that's what I was. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're quite welcome.
Thank you for stealing his thunder.
Right. I was going to get there.
Forever to get there. Come on now.
Goddamn. Look, you bald-headed demon.
Hey man, hey, you know, hey. If you want to take over and lead, you could do that now. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead. Do it.
I didn't know what you was gonna say, but yeah. Go ahead.
No. Hold on. Time out. Everybody be quiet. Let Mr. Gent introduce the next thing we're gonna talk about.
All right, guys. Look, we all know that we're all here. We're all Black men, and at the same time, we all celebrate in some kind of way Black history. So,
what on the screen.
So all right, so we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this episode, which is for Black history, the unsung heroes of Black history, the heroes that have not been talked about too much, and have not been glorified much. That we all picked a few heroes that stood out to us. So yeah, anybody want to go first?
Hell yeah, I want to go fucking first. I got a good one, goddamn it.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh my god. That was beautiful.
No, but my brother Gent, you did well with that. Thank you.
Yeah, good shit, Mr. Gent. Good shit.
Yeah.
You almost sound like a spoken word type of guy. That was nice.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah, that was legit. But no, my nomination for an unsung hero of like Black history and Black culture is actually Mike Pondsmith. The name might not ring a bell, but he's actually the creator of Cyberpunk. So if anybody enjoyed the Cyberpunk game or the anime, there's a Black man that made it.
That's pretty dope.
Dope as shit.
I've never even heard that. That's pretty dope.
Listen, I fucks with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is fucking great.
Yeah, he made so it started out as a tabletop game like Dungeons and Dragons back in the 80s, but it had the Cyberpunk theme to it.
Really?
Yeah.
It seemed like
see, now I didn't even now I didn't even know that. I just learned something new. I didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
That's actually dope as shit.
So Cyberpunk as a series has been out for like the last 40 years. The story and all the characters is something that he designed back in the 80s, but then they made a game about it. Game got pretty popular, made a badass anime, and now Cyberpunk is pretty mainstream now. So kudos to Mike Pondsmith, man.
Because Cyberpunk 2077 was absolutely gas. Like
I'm still playing through
both versions, even the version that pulled fucking Keanu Reeves out. That shit was fucking dope.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So I've got a few. So since we're kind of roundtabling up, I'll drop my first one. And I think some of you guys will appreciate this. Actually, I think out of everybody, Moo will appreciate this the most, being the one of the resident football guys on this show. But I want to talk about Fritz Pollard. All right, Fritz Pollard was the first Black coach in the NFL. All right, so let me give you his backstory really quick. So he is the son of a boxer. Fritz Pollard had grit in his veins. He was 5'9", 165 pounds, and he was small for football, but that didn't stop him from bulldozing barriers on and off the field. He attended Brown University, where he majored in chemistry and played halfback for the football team. He was the school's first Black player and led Brown to the 1916 Rose Bowl. Although people refused to serve him on the team's train to California, he also served in the Army during World War I. He joined the Akron Pros of American Professional Football Association, which later became the NFL, where he was one of 2 Black players in the entire league at this time. He was taunted just like Jackie Robinson, full of the racial slurs and all this stuff. But he was such a swift and elusive runner that they couldn't do shit about it because you can't coach speed. He didn't get mad. His quote, a direct quote from him was like, I didn't get mad at them and want to fight them. He said, I would just look at them and grin and the next minute run for an 80-yard touchdown. That's how the fuck you do it. Over the next 7 years, Pollard coached for 4 different teams and founded a Chicago football team of all African-American players. He launched a newspaper and ran a successful investment firm, and Pollard was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2005. I brought him up because a lot of people did not know that. And I really thought that was dope that not only was he one of the first black NFL coach, he served in the Army, served in World War I, and got to do all that other shit on top. That man lived a whole 3 separate careers in one. And I just think the fact that he's somebody that doesn't get talked about enough when we do like the Black history stuff, to me is crazy. Because in Black society and Black culture, we always talk about those people, those milestone type of people. We love sports. He is one of the most iconic sports figures that we don't talk about because of what he did. We are still to this day in 2026 still talking about the fact that there are not enough minority coaches in the NFL. Yeah, we're talking about a guy at the time who was the minority coach in the NFL, and he does not get talked about enough.
I gotta imagine that dude probably had the worst first fucking day ever at work.
Oh, facts.
First of all, I would just like to say, GQ, I appreciate your pick of Fitzpatrick. That's a really, really fantastic pick. I didn't even know who that was when you brought it up. I love it. Yeah. So that was great.
That was a fire pick. I love that.
It's two. So are we going to go one and then we're going to make our way around again and do a second one?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I go next? Because I or should doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
I mean, you get first of all, hold on, time the hell out. Okay, shout out. I you know what? Since we want to play petty, let's play petty. I want to give a shout out to Black History with Mr. Gent, and the reason why I want to give a shout out to Mr. Gent is because he's the first Black person on the podcast. By the age of 21, he lost all his hair. Okay, so let's start there.
I had to lose it at 21.
Damn.
Well, I gave you the benefit of the doubt because you probably lost it before. Anyway, no, okay, that's my boy. I could talk about him. Okay, I'm gonna be serious about this one. The person my first person I picked, his name is Wayne Richard Embry. Moo, you might know Wayne Embry, and GQ might know Wayne Embry because y'all are big basketball fans. For the people that don't know, Wayne Richard Embry, born March 26, 1937, is an American former professional basketball player and basketball executive. Embry's 11-year playing career as a center spanned from 1958 to 1969, playing for the Cincinnati Royals, Boston Celtics, and Milwaukee Bucks for the NBA. This is where he makes history. After his playing career, Embry transitioned to a career as a professional basketball executive, becoming the first African-American general manager and the first African-American team president in NBA history. And in 1999, he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. And in a time where we are now in 2026, and there's still not a lot of Black team presidents. There's still not a lot of Black GMs. This man was the pioneer, and he was the person to show that Black people can do it too. And I know everybody knows the Jackie Robinson story to integrate baseball and one of the first to integrate sports, period. But I also want people to understand, even after Jackie Robinson, there is still more Black history that we are not taught and we are not told about when it comes to the history of sports. And that was the reason why I looked for a sports figure.
That's dope as shit. Like that's I didn't know that one. This is why we do things like this. I enjoy being educated. So Just like my headline says, if intellect offends you, seek a better education. Because if you're not out here actively learning things, but you're like, oh, well, aren't you smart or aren't you this? Or if you're out there really being irritated about how intelligent somebody is, and I guess because you're not, because you're fucking inept, you probably should go get a better education. Upgrade your public school education and go learn you something. Go read a book. We made a song about it in the Black culture called Read a Book. Read a book. Read a motherfucking book. We did this shit.
READABO.
All I could think about is from the Boondocks
I'm just
when
playing.
Tom was possessed by what's his name, Stink Me in a Spirit. So Uncle Ruckus came to do an exorcism, and he put a book in front of him. He was like, "Read, nigga, read." And
I'm back, nigga.
I'm sorry, I had to throw the Boondocks in there. I know we're being serious.
No,
but
the Boondocks-
is Black history.
The Boondocks
Oh,
in
Boondocks
30,
is one of
40
the best
years is
parts
going
of
to
Black
be
history.
an iconic part of Black history. I don't care what nobody say. All right, who's up next?
I'll go next. My person is Garrett Morgan. In 1916, they were working on digging underneath Lake Erie, and they end up hitting a pocket of carbon monoxide like gas, and there was an explosion, and everybody that kind of go down there and save people end up being died or close to death. So Garrett made an invention 2 years beforehand, and it was a hood that had tubes kind of going towards the ground. So when he went down there, he was able to save majority of those people coming down there. And when he came back out, he was a hero. But at the same time, he couldn't sell his invention to anybody. No one wanted to sell it. It was news everywhere about the explosion, but they didn't want to show his face because he was black. So once he learned that he couldn't sell his stuff, he ended up hiring a white face of his products, and then everybody started buying the stuff, and he ended up sitting backside for that and being as the assistant to these conventions and everything like that. So his name wasn't out there, but he's also the man that made the 3-position stop light or stop sign. So he saw a wreck and he's like, "Oh, they need to have a warning." So he is the inventor to why there's a yellow light. So
Oh, the one that everybody drives faster.
why there is accidents, really.
I'm not going, bro. That's actually a dope ass story that I've never heard.
So I had Garrett Morgan queued up as like an honorable mention. So I'm actually really glad that somebody brought him because he was he's still to this day someone a lot of people don't know, but they should.
They know him for the signal, but they don't really know him for the actual gas mask to where that people are used to this day.
The military still uses fucking gas masks. Like, chemical plants use respirator style masks. Like,
exactly. That's all.
Like, people gotta, like, these are important things that day-to-day Americans use that people don't realize were created by a particular group of people that gets villainized in this country. So yeah, we said it. What's up, Outlaw?
No, I had one. I was gonna go for one more.
Yeah, come on.
I got one. Since this is Black History Month and we're going, over, I guess, lesser known Black culture icons, in my opinion. A good one is Phil Lamar. If you've watched any fucking cartoon from the 90s or 2000s, you've heard this man's voice. He's fucking Static. He's Hermes Conrad from Futurama. He's Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. Like, he was Wilt on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. He's Samurai Jack. Like, look up Phil Lamar's whole voice, I guess, filmography, and like the man has voiced so many characters. He was even Aquaman for a minute, like the dude has played a lot of different characters, and I feel like that's just phenomenal that, he was a part of our childhood from the very beginning. Him and Cree Summers, she's another famous Black voice actress. She was number 5 on Kids Next Door.
Yeah.
You heard her voice. She does the same voice for every character.
That raspy style, tough girl voice.
Yeah, that's another famous Black voice actress. Like, like I said, Susie Carmichael, that's her.
Yeah, buddy. Susie Carmichael.
Yeah. But yeah, Phil's actually coming to Houston in July. He's
I
doing
would actually
DreamCon.
love to meet that cat.
That is
would
somebody
like-
I would like to sit down and like talk to.
Yeah, that's what it like anime convention or something.
Yeah, DreamCon.
Oh, DreamCon. Okay.
You've been talking about it for like the last 2 years. Tell us to do it. We're gonna do it this year. Like
I told you to do it.
you said it last year, but like tell us to do it, damn it. We'll pull up live on location, maybe do a little skit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's worth. Look, I got microphones for that.
Yeah.
So I'll follow up and I'll go next because this one ties into so much of American culture that people probably don't even know who created these things. But we're going to talk about Charles Richard Drew. He is the father of the blood bank. All right. So anybody who's ever had a blood transfusion owes a debt to Charles Richard Drew, whose immense contributions to the medical field made him one of the most important scientists of the 20th century. So Drew helped develop America's first large-scale blood banking program in the 1940s, earning him accolades as the father of the blood bank. He won a sports scholarship for football and track and field at Amherst College, where a biology professor piqued his interest in medicine. At the time, racial segregation limited the options for medical training for African Americans, leading Drew to attend med school at McGill University in Montreal. So that's cool. He became the first Black student to earn a medical doctorate from Columbia University, where his interest in science of blood transfusions led to groundbreaking work separating plasma from blood. Guess what, Black folks? Y'all know all about going to them goddamn plasma centers, donating plasma and making money off of it. You can thank Mr. Drew. You can thank Mr. Drew for that. In 1940, Drew led an effort to transport desperately needed blood and plasma to Great Britain, then under attack by Germany. The program saved countless lives and became a model for the Red Cross pilot program to mass produce dried plasma. So once again, you can thank Mr. Drew for taking care of things like the American Red Cross. Ironically, the Red Cross at first excluded Black people from donating blood, making Drew ineligible to participate. That policy was later changed, but the Red Cross segregated blood donations by race, which Drew criticized as unscientific and insulting. Drew pioneered the Bloodmobile, a refrigerated truck that collected, stored, and transported blood donations to where they were needed. After the war, he taught medicine at Harvard University and its hospital, where he fought to break down racial barriers for Black physicians. So one man played such a role that we wouldn't have plasma donation centers. The Red Cross wouldn't be what we know it is as today, and blood transfusions for what we know them now as a very vital part of medicine may not have been possible without Charles Richard Drew.
I'm gonna say something controversial. Listening to everything that you just said, it kind of made me think, if they hadn't held us back for so many years, think of how much further society would be. Like, so much shit that we've I don't want to say shit, so many achievements that we've listed off were made by Black people being held back and looked down upon. But if they would have just let us have a seat at the table sooner, think of where the whole world could have been at.
So I agree with what you said, but I'm also going to push back. And not to start an argument, but I want to push back because I want you to think of it like this. This is where the whole real talk becomes a thing. Yes, they were held back, but all these individuals that we've talked about so far, they have one key thing in common. Not a single one of them reached for an excuse to not do it. They all found a way. They all defined perseverance. They all found a way despite the obstacles in front of them, and they got it done.
I mean, honestly, there is a possibility that without, the oppression and the obstacles, those things might not have been done anyways.
Correct. Because remember, in the culture, we talk about pressure busting pipes and pressure making diamonds, right? Look what all that pressure put on them, and look what came from it. Because we can say what we want about being oppressed and being held down and having obstacles, but you know what? Without those things, we don't achieve the greatness that we are. Somebody like Michael Jordan doesn't achieve the greatness that he does if the bad boy Pistons don't beat the fuck out of him in the playoffs. Adversity. They beat the brakes off of him. Like, they physically hit and beat him to where he said, I bet I'm going to get in the offseason, I'm going to put my weight up. Just think about that. Think about Martin Luther King. He got arrested multiple times for speaking out, but he still did it. Malcolm X on the extreme side of the game spoke out anyway. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you got to say about me. I'm still gonna speak. Muhammad Ali, one of our greatest boxers of all time, is a draft dodger. However you want to view it, he dodged the draft to go to war, went to jail, vacated the world title, got out of jail, and got the title back. That is perseverance, because you got a guy at the top of his athletic game who said, I'm not finna go fight the Viet Cong for a country that don't even support me. So I'm gonna go ahead and go sit in jail.
Viet Cong ever call me the N-word.
I'm gonna go ahead and sit in jail, vacate the world title, but I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna go get my belt back and I'm gonna get back to the mountaintop because I can.
You know, I honestly, everything you said resonates with me, and I honestly have always felt like being black is like playing life on hard mode. Like, and then we go to like a regular lobby and fucking slaughter everybody. Like, we've been playing hard mode for so long. Like, the non-ranked lobby is fucking easy mode.
Hey, which is why, and I'm not trying to be racist, I'm just saying what it is. Which is why I would rather see a black doctor over any other doctor on planet Earth, because that black doctor had to work 2 or 3 times harder to get that position than the other doctor that was going out for that position.
And that black doctor's gonna make sure they got your best interest at heart.
Right.
Like, yeah. And the thing that we have to remember too is some of us are in those same positions where it's very hard to walk that line, because we are probably one of a very few groups of people who were already born with the strike.
Yes.
And then some of us picked up our second strike because we did things that other people wouldn't do, like becoming police officers, like joining the armed forces, because people view that as like, oh, why would you do that? Oh, why would you go serve and fight for the white man? Why would you do all these things? Like, those are legitimate things. And I'm speaking from an experience perspective, because these are things that my own family told me, not my immediate family, but my the aunties and stuff, the other folk, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, when I joined the armed forces. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, at the end of the day, however you feel about where we live, we have to make the best of the situation, because the grass is never going to be greener on the other side. No matter what other country we see on TV, on TikTok, on social media, it's like, oh, I bet if we go live there, life will be great. No, the fuck it won't. It looks good. Everything looks good on social media until the reality sets in of wherever you are. So is where we live the best place on the planet? Fuck no. But no. There are places so much worse that those who've never left this country don't even understand.
Facts.
And like, we see things like poverty, homeless people. Listen, let me peel back the curtain for you. And I can tell you that in 2012, my life changed, because I went to my first third world country and I saw true poverty, where I saw kids that were like me and outlaws, kids digging in trash, looking for their next meal, looking for clothes, looking for food, where I saw trash, because they don't have trash service on Mondays and Wednesdays like some of us do. Like, trash is on the sidewalk piled up to your shins. That's the type of stuff that I used to see daily. And that right there changed my thought process about where we live versus where other people live, where people complain more about the Wi-Fi going out than the actual relevant problem.
Hey, and just to back your claim, right? I'm one of the people that heard all the stories. This is 100% facts. This is not fabricated or made up. I just want to make sure and say that.
Oh, it don't have to be. Any of my fellow veterans that ever set foot in the country of Afghanistan know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, because we all seen it. There is an area called Trash Can Alley. And I'll give it, for the Texans on the panel, I'll give you guys the perfect example of what Trash Can Alley looked like. Imagine Garth Road covered in fucking trash.
Shit.
That's Trash Can Alley in Kabul, Afghanistan. That's the perfect equivalent for you to think about. One long ass road of nothing but trash on a two-way street.
Can I go next?
I was actually going to say something about what my brother said, but if you want to go ahead.
No, I think. Well, I'm just saying. Before I go, well, there's a reason why I asked if I can go next, just because I wanted to elaborate on what he's saying. That's the reason why I say that. As all of you know, I'm not American black, right? I'm Afro-Caribbean. My family's from the Caribbean. And I want the people out here to know that's in America. This is, I think, even though, and this is just me, even though there's a lot of things that we're privileged on as Black Americans in the States, right? There's a lot of things we're privileged on. I don't think there's a lot of things that people know otherwise outside of the U.S. For instance, what he was just saying, people picking up trash, or we're so privileged we can go to the supermarket and shop. We don't have to go fishing. We don't have to go hunting. We go into the stores and get what we want and come home. And it's not like that in other places all the time. And I know, Mr. GQ, you will co-sign on this, right? Which is why I have a problem with a lot of American people in general, not just because I don't want to say American blacks. It's just a lot of American people. We're so privileged here in America that we don't know what other countries go through. And we should do better as people, whether it be Black people, white people, Mexican Americans, whatever it is. We should do better, right? I think we'll all agree to that. So on the flip side of stuff, I have a very important person I want to bring up. Kind of, right? And a lot of people don't look to this person as a very important person, but I do look to this person. And right after I'm done with this person, I got one more person to bring up. I know we said two, but I do have a third person. This third person this second person I want to bring up, his name is not etched in history as a prominent figure. And this guy's name is Alfred Daniel King. I don't know if any of you know who Alfred Daniel King is, but just to be transparent, he is the brother of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., aka MLK, the guy with a holiday in January, right? So, Alfred Daniel King was born on July 30th, 1930 in Atlanta, Georgia. Obviously, y'all know he's born in Atlanta, Georgia, just like Martin Luther King. Although he is not revered as his brother with the I Have a Dream speech and things like that, when his brother was murdered, society does not tell you he picked up the mantle that his brother left and ran with it until 1969. Where his brother died off, he picked up. Where his brother was in the civil rights movement, he was right there next to him. Where his brother was leading the charge, he was right there next to him all the time. I Had a Dream speech, he was on the front row of the I Had a Dream speech. When his brother passed away, he kept his brother's dream alive and took over and started leading Black people into the next era of I got to take over my brother's mantle where he is. And he should really be commended for this because we do not learn about A.D. King in school. But A.D. King, up until he died in 1969, was the next civil rights leader because Malcolm X was already dead, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the next person up was Alfred Daniel King after MLK died. And I feel like nobody talks about him enough. He took the mantle and he ran with it after Martin Luther King died in 1965, 66.
Somewhere in that realm. Yeah.
He picked the mantle up and ran with it for the next 3-4 years while MLK was already dead. And not only did he do it, he was heard, he was welcomed, he was voted to be the leader of the civil rights movement and the person to take the mantle of his brother. And I hate that he never gets the recognition he gets because of what he did and because of what his brother did before. But he also deserves to be recognized for the civil rights movement. And I don't know how many of you on here actually know who that is or have ever heard of him, but I didn't hear of him until yesterday.
I'm just gonna give you a golf clap, sir. I'm gonna give you a golf clap. I don't want to mess up my microphone, but I'm gonna give you a golf clap. It was very powerful. It was very powerful. And that's why this particular show was important. And I didn't want to do it at the beginning. It made the most sense to do it at the end because obviously we know, unfortunately, and I'm gonna mean this when I say this, February being the shortest month, and they decided that this is gonna be the month that we're gonna honor history of a history that they're also trying to erase, whitewash, whatever phrasing you'd like to use. But that's what's happening. Let's just call it what it is. They're trying to make people forget. They're trying not to recognize the greatness of these individuals that we talk about because no one talks about it. No one gives these people credit that we're talking about today. When you hear people speak, they just say, they say the father of, the mother of, or the person that invented this. They don't say their name. They don't show their picture. They don't do any of that shit. And that should cause you to pause and ask why. It should. It really should. I know you said you had one more, Micah. I have one more as well. So does anybody else have a third? Because if not,
I have my second.
Okay, well, get your
wait. Oh, Mr. Gent, I got one. Hold on. You're gonna like this. I think you're gonna like this. All right. I do have one more, and just to lighten the mood up a little bit, because this person is really integral to Black history. Outlaws over there with the most. I don't even know what kind of face that is, but he wants to know what else I gotta say.
Perplexed.
That's it. He has
nigga, you just have a habit of dragging the shit out like for dramatic effect.
So yes. So I'm gonna drag this one out for dramatic effect too.
Goddamn, next time on Dragon Ball Z head ass nigga, fuck.
I mean, I didn't say nothing about your motherfucking do-rag being a Super Saiyan hair length every time we come on the show, but here we go. Just to talk about it, I got one more person, and I don't care what Outlaw has to say. 2005. This is one of the greatest things I could ever do. 2005. With all the controversy going on, and things like that. Moo, are you still here? I hope you're still here because this is a very important one.
Ain't went nowhere.
We have one integral figure that needs to be recognized in 2005, right? He dropped one of the most important lines of all time. The most important line of all time for this is obviously comical relief. It was, "Nigga, you gay." And that is Riley from the Boondocks. That was Riley from the Boondocks. Riley from the Boondocks. "Nigga, you gay."
Yeah.
You all know why. You all know why that line,
my nigga.
Y'all all know. All of y'all know why this line is very important.
You could have just said Regina King and we would have got you.
Regina King,
No. I want to make sure these niggas know where I stand. Hey, listen, y'all know why this line is important in modern day history. So Riley Freeman is modern day Black history because he said the one line that niggas refuse to say today.
Was real gay, my nigga. Cut
That's
that out.
real gay, my nigga. Hey. I'm sorry. Hey, that was funny to me because I said I'm gonna do this one today. That it was very funny to me. But that if for those of you that want to know, season 1, episode 16 of the Boondocks, go check that.
Well,
Very important.
My president
Get
is
off
black
that.
and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Get the fuck out of my hotel room before I slap the shit out of you.
Well, I'm a beat off of that. Mine's actually a family member. I don't know how many greats it is, but my uncle. He is the real Fat Albert. He's the person that they based him off of. Albert Robertson.
I can see the resemblance.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Relax.
And I see the resemblance of you and a baboon. But yeah, I don't say anything. But okay.
Supposed to be sharing black love here today,
Relax.
fellas. Okay.
Relax.
Oh Lord, this
And
is black
antagonizing
love.
people is my love language.
This is
No,
black
you're
love.
right. I will say
This
that
is-
this is a form of black love, okay?
And this is black love in the barbershop.
Yeah, it really is.
If a nigga don't roast you, he don't love you.
That part.
Now that is absolutely true.
Yeah, like I just got on mic. I got on jit like that. That's
The
how.
truest form of
Boy,
black
you
love.
didn't need a nap at this point. You just need a fucking nap. You tired. So all the
Go
love,
on,
you
my
just need a
brother.
nap.
Go
nigga.
on.
Look, but yeah, go on. I'm like very much intrigued by this. Like I'm
Yeah,
in
he's
here.
my.
I'm
I
actually
think
really
two great
engaged.
uncles. I believe on my mom's side. Him and Bill Cosby actually grew up together in North Philly, I believe it was. That's where really where Fat Albert and the gang kind of came from him and kids that grew up around them. So at the end of the
forgot
live
that-
action,
I forgot
uh,
that Fat Albert is Bill Cosby adjacent.
Yes.
Damn. Fuck.
so the live action movie at the very end, you see his actual gravestone, and pretty much all the kids that they grew up with, that the characters are based off of, are there as well. So
Hey, it's Fat
So did you
Albert.
so did you ask anybody in your family, any of the OGs in your family, who was Mushmouth and who was Dumb Donald? Because I feel like we gotta know.
Yeah, I want to know too.
I kind of feel like that's a very
Actually-
valid question.
I actually went to their was it 2 years ago? Their family reunion for them.
Yeah,
2
I'd
years.
have like, so which one of you niggas was Dumb Donald? Which one of you niggas was Mushmouth and couldn't talk?
These
Yeah,
are valid questions that need answers.
Immediately, because we need to know.
And we
Well,
have
all
the
of-
source. The source is here.
Yeah.
I'm
Sir.
going to say something controversial while we're talking about Fat Albert and I guess Bill Cosby. I know that Bill Cosby has been excommunicated from the black community. That nigga, like basically like the Prince Zuko of like black culture. But like Bill Cosby, like
Had a
before,
prediction.
before all the bullshit, you know, like,
Excommunicated by who?
Not
I
by
was
me.
gonna say debatable, because we understand how things go, and I don't know if he was dropping pills and drinks. I think he was just giving bitches the fudge pop. The pudding
Bruh,
pop,
this-
and they,
hey,
and they
hey,
loved it.
hey.
I'm not.
This is what I know. Felicia Rashad is one of the baddest black women to ever walk planet Earth. And if he didn't try to do nothing with Felicia Rashad, you can't tell me nothing.
What I'm saying is, don't be mad when you was going to the ice cream man and he was giving you the pudding pop, and you got caught getting the pudding pop, and now you regret getting the pudding pop. That's,
Yeah,
not,
and
that's not his fault.
I'm not gonna dibble dabble in none of that shit.
Dibble dabble.
I'm just gonna say that he achieved a whole lot to be a fucking black man in the 60s and 70s. I can respect that. So
That man portrayed a doctor extremely well on TV. Like we really thought Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable was a bad man. Like
and
that.
that's why I want to say, like, you got to understand, like, people who didn't grow up like watching the Cosby Show, like, they stereotype black people so fucking bad. But to see like a successful, regular, middle class family that just happened to be black, that meant so much to like a black kid, because we didn't have to be fucking gangbangers or living in Section 8. Like, it showed that there was a better way. And like Family Matters, the dad was a fucking cop. The mom, I forgot, what did the mom do?
She was an elevator hostess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like regardless, it showed that like black families can be just a regular family. You didn't have to have your dad left to get fucking milk and never came back, and your mom got another nigga. Like it just showed regular black families, and I've always appreciated that. You know,
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Just think about what you just said. Four of our most iconic father figures. You had George Jefferson.
Yeah.
He taught us about what it is to be, when you get up there to be rich, right? You just talked about Bill Cosby, doc playing a doctor. You talked about Carl Winslow being a police officer, and we talked about Uncle Phil being a
First
judge.
things first, rest in peace.
Being
Uncle
a
Phil.
judge.
Yeah.
Think about
For
those.
real.
Think about those 4 career paths and put it in 2026. And none of those are common professions for black people still.
Oh, you know what?
you're not wrong.
That's crazy. You're absolutely right.
Like of all those fields, the one that may have the most are probably police officers.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
if you look at let's put it in its proper context. All right. We know this from history. All right. The how many black Supreme Court justices do we currently have?
Begrudgingly one.
There you go. That's all.
I don't think you want to be black.
I know, but the point being, because that's like the pinnacle. That's like the top of the top.
Yeah, that's a black with an asterisk, my brother.
Correct, but the point. I'm just saying the point.
That's funny.
That's all. The point. But then we also talk about doctors, right? Obviously, one of our most prominent doctors is the same one who separated conjoined twins at the brain, which is still like a 1-of-1 situation, right? So they're out there, but at some point it will become common, because me and Micah had a show about this before. We hate when people say like the first black person to do this, like in the modern era. Obviously back in the day there was a reason, because they were breaking ground. But it is 2026. There should not be any more firsts. There really shouldn't be.
It really shouldn't be. And like I feel like we need to teach black kids that you can do more than become a fucking rapper or go fucking play a sport. For the love of fucking God, there are regular great fucking jobs out here.
No, you can't. You want to know why? Because we only glorify those things. We glorify professional athletes. We glorify rappers. We glorify hood life. We don't glorify working for the government. We don't glorify working in the chemical plants. We don't glorify being police officers, doctors. We don't glorify that shit. That's not the shit we see on social media. It's all the other shit that you just talked about. So until we stop normalizing and praising those things, that's all these kids are going to know. Right now, the big thing is being a social media influencer. That shit ain't positive. That shit toxic. Because the only way to truly be big out here in the world of what we're doing right now, and you see it, is these podcasts that are out here looking for clickbaits, being negative, looking and saying things that are like, oh my God, rage baiting. Like, but why? Because negative sells more than positivity. Always, because negative's easy. Nobody wants to hunt the good stuff and hunt the hard stuff. I don't care if it takes Gentleman's Talk 30 fucking years to get where it needs to get. We will never be one of them shows that resorts to those types of things.
Talk about it.
Period. We're going to be out here on some Captain America type shit. The moral compass is going to be intact around this motherfucker.
Talk about it. Yes, sir.
All day.
And if you don't like it, don't watch. Don't give a fuck.
I love what you said. I'm Team Cap anyways. Like, yeah, Bucky might have killed his parents, but like, that's my nigga though. Still, like, I gotta slide for Bucky. Like, he might be in the wrong, but I'm in the wrong too.
Yeah, but
yeah, they both got to catch that fade at the end of the day.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
But
justifiable crash out. I get it, Tony.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm still gonna slide for my nigga though.
Yeah. So as you can see, we're at this hour and 48-minute point of the show. We typically try to go an hour and a half, but when we have a specialty show, we tend to go a little over, and that's okay. But what we are going to do is do the right thing. All right, we're going to do the right thing. And I'm going to start with Muluch because he's down there. And I want to drop them closing thoughts on us, please. And thank you, sir.
Hey, man, it was another great show. And one thing that I wanted to say about today's show in particular is that I love the fact that we took the time to highlight some prominent Black inventors, some prominent Black figures in history, because like GQ said, like my brother said on this panel, oftentimes they get overlooked, right? And oftentimes that they don't get talked about like the white counterpart or the Mexican counterpart or the Asian counterpart, et cetera, et cetera. So just taking the time to highlight true prominent Black figures in history is beautiful. Second, okay, shout out to Ruthless Johnson, the first Black person to slap. I'm just playing. Great show. We're gonna see y'all next week. Make sure you guys tune into off the glass tomorrow, Inside the Huddle on Friday. And yeah, Black and the Berry, sweeter the juice, baby. We out. Happy Black History Month.
Oh wow,
Mr. Jet,
Hey,
talk.
dog.
All right, so that's a great show. Y'all go follow us on TikTok and IG, and even hit subscribe and the bell for this channel here. My tagline says, "Put your name on it," due to the fact of during Black History Month, the guy that kind of made the tenderism, pretty much lost that because he didn't put his name on it fast enough. The owner of the restaurant
Oh,
actually
he got caught on the copyright.
copyrighted it. So
Hmm.
put your fucking name on it. It's yours. Hey, as a Black person, put your fucking name on it. Don't let me take your money like that, bro. So, yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. You know,
Main
it's your
character,
own
talk to
restaurant.
him.
But we'll see.
Talk to him, main character.
Damn. So like the tagline says, be the main character. What I've had to learn the hard way, but I don't regret it, is that it's your life. Like everybody around you is honestly just a supporting character or an NPC. You got to make your life as great, grand, and glorious as possible. So why not be fucking magnificent? Why not go out there and live your dreams? Why not become the next, Black icon that people talk about 30 years from now? What's stopping you besides yourself? DJ Michael B, you want to go next, my brother?
You already know. Make sure you tune into all the shows this week. Obviously, we have for the rest of the week. Gentlemen's Talk was tonight. Tomorrow we got basket off the glass. Friday we got the best damn football show on the internet. Period. We got Moolish. We got and we got Mill on Inside the Huddle, where they're gonna talk that ish. You know what I'm saying? And then Tuesday we're right here for basketball. But before we go, here's the one thing I definitely want to say, bro. Learn your history, learn your Black history, right? These American schools aren't going to give it to you. And it doesn't matter if you're Black, Japanese, Caucasian, European, whatever it is. Learn your history and make sure you are a person that pushes the history forward. Right? And that's what I want to leave y'all with. It doesn't matter what heritage you're from. Push your history forward, because if you're in America, even though they might not feel like it, this is American history. It don't matter if it's Black American, Japanese American, Chinese American, Indonesia American, Mexican American. Push your history forward. That's what America is built on. I'm out.
You heard what he said. That man was preaching.
The skill was hot.
So I'm gonna go ahead and keep the cast iron hot real quick, because going strictly off the alley oop that DJ Micah B just thrown, he did it. He said, learn your history. I am on the other side of that spectrum. Teach your history. Use your intellect and make sure that if somebody's offended by you teaching your history, tell them to go up their education, because American history has no color. American history has no gender. American history has nothing but one thing. It's the history of America. It is an all-encompassing thing. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Learn it all. Stop trying to erase it. Learn from your mistakes. That's what you should do, so that we can be better moving forward. So that we can teach our children, hey, yes, there was a point in time where people didn't look at certain people a certain type of way, but that's not what the world is now. Not that, 400 years ago, people were looked at a certain type of way, and in 400 years later, people still look at people a certain type of way. Now there's just a way for them to keep one group down while the other group is still built up. That's how you need to be teaching history. People need to understand where they came from so that they understand how not to get back to where they were. Because me and my brother talked about this. I talk about this in my full-time profession. If you don't know by now, I am a recruiter. That is my job. My job is to put people in boots. I tell kids my story all the time. I grew up without a lot of money. So when I came into money, I'm not rich. But now that I make money, I will never be broke again.
Talk about it.
Never. Because I understood what it was to grow up on housing, on Medicaid, all that shit. I knew what that meant. But what I also knew is that when I became of age, I would not raise my family that same way. That's nothing against my parents. That's just how they grew up. That is their history. Their history shaped my future because I witnessed it. I lived it. I saw it. So now I had the groundwork to not do what they did, to learn from their mistakes, to be better for my own children. And
not to interrupt you, I just want to let it be known that you and your brother are the same on this topic because I've seen both of y'all. So, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, appreciate it. I mean, but that's the truth of the matter, and that's how I want to put a bow on all of this: is teach your history. There will be a day when my daughter's old enough to learn, and I will teach her, listen, this is how things were. This is how we grew up. This is how things were. But this is why your life is the way it is now, so that you can now make a better life for your future children. And these are the things you can do to make sure that you don't fall back to a couple generations prior to yourself. That's all.
I mean, my brother, I'll say it like this. History is the foundation that you build your house on.
And it's going to have some cracks in it, and that's okay.
And that's what it is.
So, great show all around, fellas. This was a great specialty show. We don't get to do a lot of things like this. This is cool. So, I'm glad we got to do this. I do have one special shout out that and then I'm gonna let Mr. Gent do. Actually, Mr. Gent, do your thing, and then I'll give the shout out after the fact.
Is your shout out a person?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a person.
Well, we didn't say today. Yeah, you need to go out and go vote. Like history. Go ahead. Go vote.
You heard him.
Yeah, what,
go
2
vote.
days left, I think, voting?
Yes. Yeah, 2 days.
Get out there and go vote.
I always appreciate the PSA, Mr. Gent. You always say some really salient shit that I don't be thinking about just off rip. Thank you.
Gratitude.
Truth. Truth.
So,
even though I talk shit about him.
So I wanted to, ironically, this works out perfectly. The alley-oops that we throwing, I might as well be Blake Griffin tonight. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Gent, actually, because this weekend, Mr. Gent will be having a housewarming party to celebrate becoming a homeowner. And that means that he is now the 5th person on this panel that now is a homeowner, that owns their own place, that has a piece of history to continue this thing about history, but he is now raising his children in and building his kingdom off of. So that is what is symbolic about a housewarming party. It is you welcoming everyone to your kingdom. So congrats to you, sir. Can't wait to be there on Saturday because it's gonna be on and popping. We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna show up. We're gonna show out. We're gonna have fun.
Right.
Headshot.
Right.
So you know how that's gonna go. So I just wanted to give you a shout out and tell you, hey, congratulations. Welcome to homeownerhood. It is ghetto out here, but welcome anyway.
It is.
Yeah.
Very,
I definitely want to
very,
I want to
very
give you
ghetto.
congrats, my brother, and you're gonna find out eventually. You're gonna go to Home Depot a hell of a fucking lot, goddamn.
Yeah,
Home
I'm
Depot,
gonna visit a couple
Lowe's,
this week anyway.
Ace Hardware,
Be Gosh, whatever the fuck,
Harbor
all
Freight.
them places.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harbor
listen,
Freight, yep, all that. You're gonna be out. You're gonna be outside and inside.
I'm dealing
Yeah.
with a motherfucking leak in my garage right now.
I've been a little link in my
it's
sink right now.
ghetto.
Yeah, so.
See,
I've been
listen. I would
replacing a
rather,
back fence for about 2 years now.
I would rather it be a leak in the sink. I can fix that.
Yeah.
You start getting up in the attic with the pipes, and I'm not there yet. I'm not quite that level of proficient yet. I will be. Not but the sink, oh yeah, I'm good with that. I don't replace, garbage disposal and all this shit. I'm good with the sink. I understand the inner workings very well. You'll get there.
Actually, I'm gonna
YouTube is
say
your best
one
friend.
more thing before I get the fuck out of here. for real though, congrats to Mr. Jim, but congrats to everybody on this panel for actually having a home, because our people, we were disenfranchised from having homes for Lord knows how long. Like they wouldn't even let us fucking look in a white neighborhood, so
Redlining.
yeah, so to be all homeowners and raising our kids in homes, not living in the goddamn projects, kudos, guys. Kudos.
This is true, and I will co-sign with this. This is true, for shit sure. Hey, black people, keep pushing and keep doing it. It is possible. We all came from the hood that was right here, and we all made it happen. It's possible.
Bro, I grew up down the street in goddamn North Shore. Okay, shit.
Only
To be
together.
fair, I
will
still
we
live in the hood.
truly-
I only feel comfortable around black people.
Yeah. Only together will we truly succeed. And for those in the background, and Micah, you're gonna catch this reference real quick because it's important. But those in the background who continue to talk down and tear us down and try to sabotage us, shame on all of you. Because when you're trying to come up and be great and support the team, and people are still trying to tear you down, it's not the place you want to be.
Yeah,
Hold
But I'm
on,
gonna leave that
GQ,
one
wait.
there.
Hold on, GQ, wait. Can I give him the line real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
Yes.
How you gonna hate from outside of the club and you can't even get in?
I love it.
Let go.
Ladies. Hey, chat, we appreciate y'all. Reed, appreciate you coming through, man, dropping some great knowledge and bombs on the chat and communicating with us tonight. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we are.
Motivation in you and inspire the world to do what you can. If you love it, then fuck it, get through it. Mumble mentality activated. I waited for so long. Get burdens, I've outwaited. When you see me